Hello YouTube, this is Ibuprofen TCG here. Who am I here with today?
Hi, I'm Derek. My band name's Ogi.
That's what's up. I hear a little birdie told me that you are now a proud owner of cereal. Is that right?
Yep, X1, play TCG online regional.
That's crazy. And you brought, what deck did you bring with you?
GP.
Ooh, this is the alt art one. No Dodger Luffy today?
Oh, I actually have it at home. I didn't bring it.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah.
What reason why did you bring the GP Luffy versus the other decks?
I expected a lot of UP, and I thought it was well positioned against that. I also thought there was no auto lose matchup in this meta, so it had a good spread across the board.
Right on. Can we take a look at your deck list real quick?
Yeah, sure. Let's get started. The first things are pretty basic searchers. It's like the 4 1-drop Nami, the 4 2-drop,
Fire.
and the 4 Zoro. This is all really essential right now. I don't think anyone would deviate from this. I also ran actually 2 search event. That might be a little different than usual. And this was actually, I think, pioneered by Skepus. He ended up cutting 2 of these for additional counter, and it came in huge for Zoro and Rayleigh in this meta.
Oh, okay. Skepus, the European player, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Were you watching his videos and VODs, or?
Actually bought his GP guide. Is a super great deal. It was $25, and instantly just boosted my rating in tournament by 3 wins. So.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Okay. What else is in here?
Moving on. Other really essential stuff. 4 Sanji Pudding. It's the entire deck basically.
Fire.
4 Gum Gum Giant. Also, I don't think anyone would ever consider cutting any of these.
Of course.
2K lineup. The 4 Usohachi and the 4 Sanji.
Okay.
It's also super standard. Maybe a little different. Some people are considering running 2 additional 2Ks, but instead of that, I ran the 2 zero cost event.
Very, very nice. And do you prefer the zero cost event versus the 2Ks?
For me personally, I think so. I think with how many bricks it runs, it helps keep the deck running smoothly. It helps when you draw bricks off of Giant. That happens often to me personally. So having something like this in your hand the whole game just gives you that extra bit of security that you're not going to be bricked up later. In addition, the ramp trigger came in a couple games in this run as well. So this combined with the Bagua, having 5 ramp triggers in your life, I would say it came up in one, every other game basically. I think I had at least one.
That's what's up. Okay.
Moving on, the 4 stage, I think it's essential as well against any blue, yellow, black, and even some green decks. I mean, it becomes a win con instantly. If you see this on curve and you're set up, it just turns off most of the cards that'll pop Sanji Pudding.
Makes sense.
Bagua, this was one of the cards that took the spot of that second searcher. When we looked at having only 2 of the 1 year at sea search event, one of those spots went to Bagua, and one of the other spots I guess would maybe have been considered the green Zoro, but again, the ramp trigger is huge, and the ramp when you're at 2 life or less just comes in so clutch against aggro decks, especially if you don't have something like this to help replenish your Dawn after playing Giant. Even though you live, you're going to be in a spot where you can't come back with the amount of Dawn you're at.
Right on.
This is, I guess, where things start to get a little more really more meta specific, but having the 3 green Zoro, I think, was really important in this meta as well. Into the decks like Bonney, where you're fighting for board often, Rayleigh as well, where they don't want you to be asking for cards and popping those bodies early. I think the green Zoro becomes almost more important than any other card, seeing it early, and just making sure that you always have an angle to put pressure from early on in the game.
Oh, for sure. I've also seen deck lists that run the Frankies. Are you preferring the green Zoros than the Frankies, or?
For me personally, yeah. I mean, I think the Franky initially, I thought it was really important for the UP matchup, but honestly, now when I think aggression is more important, cutting the Franky, as long as you see stage on curve and you can protect your Sanji Pudding, not having the extra ramp from Franky, I think it ended up not mattering that much.
Okay, that makes sense.
And of course, Franky is, to me, felt more dead than the green Zoro in basically every other matchup.
Yeah, it's just a UP card.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Moving on, 2 Luffy Taro. I think this is pretty standard as well. And the 3 Secret Luffy.
Okay.
These are the ratios I think people end up tweaking a lot. Some people do 2-2 or they'll do 3-2 reverse. I think this is mostly preference, but I think more often than not, the Rush Luffy end up making the difference. Games like you don't have Sanji Pudding, but you can just hard play this. Is a really good spot. I played against 2 Blackbeard as well, so this is essential in Blackbeard. I think it played a big part in the run. Versus Luffy Taro, much less flexible.
Yeah.
A lot of times, if you see it in hand and it's not a particular match where you want it, it feels very dead compared to the Rush Luffy.
Makes sense.
And then probably one of the best cards in the deck.
ENG.
Game winner against all the green, all the red matchups. Tapping their board early and being able to fight for board just sets you up for the rest of it to be so easy after that.
Most definitely. Yeah. And this core online TCG that you played, how many rounds was that?
This was a 10 rounds, so the record was 9-1.
Oh, congrats, bro. That's fire. That's a long day. Were you having like a lot of anxiety when you're like X1 or?
I think it didn't really hit me. I was at 6-0 at one point. And,
oh shoot.
I think probably prior to that, the best record I've ever had is like 4-0. I usually lose at like 4 and then go down 4-1. But yeah, it's just like texting our testing group like in Discord, and it was like just one game at a time. You know, like that's literally like the only way to play it. Like you just have to.
No, that's great mentality right there. What was your matchups, if you don't mind me asking? I see.
I had them saved. I probably never remembered this if not. But round 1 was actually Yost, so a great player. I was studying his content a lot when he was on Shanks, but round 1. He was on UP. I knew it was a good matchup for me, and I ended up high rolling a little there.
Hell yeah.
And he ended up low rolling, so it was cleaned up. The only bummer is that he insta-dropped after that loss, and I was hoping he would carry my tiebreakers, but it didn't work out like that.
Oh, okay.
Then it was Blackbeard, 1 dice. I personally am taking second in that matchup. Your goal is just to like double deploy as often as possible and just keep playing for swings. Something that actually came up in both my Blackbeard games was to DMG their board when they're aggressively discarding for leader effect, and you end up just wiping their board. I end up like cleaning his entire board multiple times throughout the game, and it just made it so he never had a chance to come back.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. Green Zoro, I ended up playing 3. That's something that we test a lot in our group.
Oh shoot!
I actually usually lose to Green Zoro, but on the day I felt. Especially with the 3 Bagua, 2-0 cost, I just had the counter I needed to live every single time, and was able to force them to go for suboptimal all-ins with early Rush Luffy pressure, and it was basically the same story every time. It was just, get one Sanji Pudding to stick, keep the pressure up, make them go for bad lethal.
Hell yeah. Okay. Is that a Bonney?
Yeah.
Hey, you got to preach. A lot of people I see rage quit because they're like, oh, I just can't beat a Bonney. Worst matchup ever. How would you be a Bonney?
That's actually it's because to me mentally, when I think about the matchup, I think there's a lot of ways for them to win. It's pretty scary, but actually in turn, I think I've only ever lost to Bonney once.
Oh, okay.
But if you see the Green Zoro and you see the DMG, it becomes not that. They have to hard draw all of their good cards, whereas you're searching all your good cards more often than not, you actually end up just being way more consistent than them. It's a full starve early, you don't give them any cards, and then once you don't swing anything, and then once you go wide enough, like 3 or 4 bodies wide, you can DMG their Cavendish, sometimes even their 8 to 10 cost cards, and just ask them for basically everything out of their hand. They don't have additional generation for cards, so after that power play, they end up playing the rest of the game with 2 to 3 cards in hand.
Hell yeah, I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes. What else?
After that, it was 2 more Green Zoros. Yep, same story as the first. It was just, that matchup is so scripted, they're playing literally the same thing every game. You're playing very similar as well. My only note for the matchup that I thought mattered a lot was searching. There's actually a lot of times where I ended up passing up Sanji Pudding on my searches. Just 1 is enough to win you the game if you have the counter in hand to protect it. So I end up searching counter a lot more than anything else in that matchup.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. After that, red green smoker. So that's the one matchup. Honestly, I thought was the hardest in this meta. It's kind of like a tier 2 or like maybe like sleeper tier 1.5. So just hoping I didn't pair into it. But yeah, at 6-0 paired into it, and he got triple Mulgun on me.
Bro,
So-
triple Mulligan.
Yeah, so many turns they're playing it almost for free, right? They're playing
Yep.
like a 1 Dawn Mulgun, or he's like Mihawk, restand 3 Dawn, and like Mulgun, and still have like way more Dawn left to swing. Yeah, this to me, if they see all of their moves, it's kind of unwinnable.
I feel that.
And then after that, UP again. This one was a little scary. I was a little tilted after the loss. I ended up swinging into his Bagwadon, so I gave him his leader effective turn early, and he hit ramp trigger out of life. I was like, this is feeling pretty bad, but we got there in the end. It was just like a rush Luffy DMG all in. It's just like huge clutch.
And how'd you recognize that? Were you just in a position where you had to go for it, or?
Yeah. His board was 4 wide. He had like Dofi, Mihawk, Sanji, and one other big body. I can't remember. It might have been another Sanji. I think I did Sanji, and the 2 other big bodies. Yeah, like you can't stall that out for much longer. It was again just like huge DMG to clutch out that game.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Are you finding these UP players starving you, or are they just pressing?
No, I think most of them are pressing, and I think the list is well suited for that. If they were to starve you and you're running like 3, some sort of, maybe even on 4 of the secret Luffy, and you play this and they're starving you, that's an instant win for you. Like,
Oh, that's fire.
yeah, so I think most of them recognize that too. They don't want to give you that situation where you're taking your own life for free, basically. And
Yeah. Okay. So you heard it here first. GP is free. Our UP is free for GP. All right, guys. We just got to beat them up.
Like, if it wasn't for that match being so good, I don't think I would have felt as strong about taking this into the weekend for sure.
That's fire. And you got 2 more matches. How'd you finish?
Yeah, Blackbeard. I was just thinking at this point, like, come on, like, just need to. If I win this one, like, I'm in it for like. Yeah, like I could potentially bubble in for the serial, so it just like focused up. It's a really a match where you just have to not misplay. If everything goes smoothly and you don't misplay, it should be a pretty natural win. Actually, something a little weird did happen this game. Like he was like 3 wide with blockers at the end, so it was some really careful math with DMG to get the blockers rested, and I think it came down to exact counter, but. This deck, when you're able to go so wide, you have a lot of freedom to make the math work in your favor.
Heck yeah.
Situations like that.
Okay.
And then the last one was Rayleigh, and a lot of GPs would say that is the toughest matchup. But you mentioned earlier, you watched as well the Skepus Impact show match.
Yup.
I think that was really instructional on how to play this. I actually lost dice. At this point, I had to really just push everything out of my mind, like not think about the record, just like have to put everything to winning this. I lost dice, I'm going first, so that's obviously not a good position to be in. He opens back-to-back Luffy Sanji. I was just thinking, this is looking pretty doomed. He did end up misplaying. I only saw 1 Sanji pudding this game, and I think he thought his hand was so good. He showed me Mulligan for 1 Rayleigh leader skill. He ended up not playing it on curve so that he could just go wider. He went 5 wide really quickly, but the fact that I got to keep this 1 Sanji pudding and keep removing his bodies with Green Zoro and DMG left him basically on his 7 Dawn turn. He had to decide if he's going to actually play the Mulligan now or on his 8 Dawn turn or continue developing. He had to develop because I killed so many bodies the turn before.
So you just couldn't afford to remove your Sanji pudding.
Yeah, at that point I had like the other bodies. So there was like Green Zoro, Zoro next to the Sanji pudding. If he spends 4 Dawn to remove the Sanji pudding, I'm gonna double develop, and then he's gonna be staring down 4 bodies where he didn't get to go. Like it just ended up snowballing for him. That 1 Sanji pudding he decided not to kill on curve. And at the end of this game, I ended up defending 14k first, and then all in like with the King Kong gun. I think it was 16k like back to back, and that was it to close out the run. 30k like collective attacks. And just with the body, I don't think he ever moved a single body off my board, and was able to just keep pushing life after that.
Hell yeah, that's a brick in hand, bro. Yo, congratulations. That's a fucking tough ass run. Where'd you end up finishing?
I actually finished 9th on the initial standings, but someone above me got deck checked.
Oh.
So because of the deck check, I made it into 8th, and I'll be expecting the serial next week.
Oh, congratulations. And is this your first serial?
Yeah, first serial. Been playing for 8 months, so I think it feels a little early to get something like this, but I'm glad that the hard work paid off.
Nah. Hard work always pays off. It was your day. Congratulations. Dude, that's so fucking awesome. Language, David. This was a long run. You mentioned you have testing partners, a Discord, any shout outs, anyone who helped you out in particular?
Yeah, the local I play at the most is Gongai in Beaverton, and we have a Discord for some of the Westside players who play together often, so I want to shout them out. Basically all of my experience in these matchups, most of the good practice comes from them. Want to shout out Nugs, who runs this local. It's just like a place for us to boot camp and like basically mess around every week, so
that's fire.
It's essential as well. And also would want to shout out Skepus. I mean, I literally just stole his list bar for bar. He just won a regional in Europe, and I think he had back-to-back serials with GP, basically the same list before that. So that was the blueprint, and you can't go wrong with it.
Well, I love seeing Oregon boys succeed. Congratulations one more time.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'll catch you guys later.
Thanks.